Hey you guys, so I am doing an art tutorial video because I know obviously everybody's home right now and I see a lot of art tutorials for kids, which I think are awesome, and but I don't know, I just kind of felt like making this. I am not I am like a fly by the seat of my pants artist. I don't even think that I have that much natural artistic skill when it comes to doing things like painting and drawing. I'm more cerebral in my creativity, but about, I don't know, 4 years ago, I started to play around with doing like mixed media art. And one of the things that I really love to do is I really love to draw, I like faces. I love Kelly Ray Roberts, her art. I'm sure everybody's seen it. I think Hallmark carries a lot of her stuff. Jane Davenport and Tamara Laporte, and the style is sort of called willowing. So I'm sure everybody is somewhat familiar with that. But I think Kelly Ray Roberts was probably my first inspiration, and it was like 4 summers ago. I just sat down with a little canvas that I had gotten for my daughter, and I just tried to do it, like kind of looking at stuff online as inspiration. So this is the very first thing I ever did. And a lot of this is, it's acrylic paint, but like her hair and everything, her wings, all this is paper. So it's like a combination of paint and paper. And so anyway, but my whole point of showing this is that you can see, oh no, wrong way. Sorry, I'm very new to this. There we go. So her face, I just sort of drew it like what I was looking at, like a picture, and then just sort of tried to mimic it. And I was like, man, I wish I could learn how to draw faces. And so I did. I took an online class with Jane Davenport called Beautiful Faces, and I learned how to draw a face. And it was the most exciting thing that had ever happened to me, because what I learned was that you don't really, it's amazing if you have natural artistic skill and it just sort of comes to you naturally how to do it. But if you're somebody like me and you don't have that natural talent, learning how to do it was amazing. So I'll just show you this picture. And then after I learned how to do it, and then, obviously did a lot of different art and practiced. This is one of the paintings that I did. Let me back up. Oh no, there we go. I actually have a video, like a time-lapse video of this on my YouTube channel of me doing this. So here's one of them. She's very messy because she's glitter. Her hair is all glitter. So there's one of them, and then I have my art journal here. This is one of the first ones that I did. And so this is all paint and stencil, and there's actually inks on here too. I think I used some kind of artistic inks. I just would grab whatever I could find at Michael's or Joann that was on sale. This is one of my favorite ones that I ever did. Even though Phoebe thinks she looks like Frankenstein, I don't even care. It's got my favorite quote by Mary Oliver: "Tell me what it is you plan to do with your one wild and precious life." So anyway, and then this is, I love this one too, though I have so many imperfections in my stuff, like her face is so big over on this side. I don't really know what happened. And then this is a combination of paints and inks and stencils, and then all this is actually napkins. Like if you ever go to Tuesday Morning or, anything like TJ Maxx, and they have all the like decorative napkins. Oh my gosh, those are the best when you're making art. This is a David Bowie one I did. It's got all him. And this is another one here. So anyway, point is that I learned how to draw faces, and it was so exciting. So I thought what I would do is just do like a basic tutorial on how to draw a face. Sorry about the shadows. I'm literally like, I don't do videos, so I have no setup. I'm just pretty much using our camcorder, and like I've got our tripod all hooked up, and so I don't know. But my biggest thing is that, again, I know everybody's home. A lot of the focus is on kids, which is important. Of course, we need to find stuff for our kids to do, but there's nothing wrong with all of us getting creative, and I feel like it's a healing art. It's a healing therapy, and it's just fun to play around with, and it's really not that hard if you have just stuff laying around, and you can create lots of cool stuff. But if you kind of know the basics on how to draw a face, that can be a good jumping off point. I have to say, none of this is original. Like, I did not come up with this method. I learned this method from Jane Davenport and from Tamara Laporte, who has tons of amazing online content. You should Google her. She's amazing. And also Kelly Ray, who I think I watched a bunch of her tutorials, though her style is a little different than this. I don't know how she goes about drawing her stuff is very simplistic. So anyway, I am just gonna dive in, and I'm hoping that you guys find this helpful, and I encourage all the moms, all the dads, all the grown-ups to take this time to sort of channel your inner child and just get creative and have fun. And you can learn how to do this with your kids too. I've taught my daughter how to draw like this, and so anyway, here we go. So, a lot of times when you go to draw a face, you just sort of draw like, you just have the bottom half of the face, and that's it. I'm hoping this is showing up. Hold on, let me zoom in. Okay, that didn't show up at all. I can't see it. I'm gonna draw a little. So normally it's gonna be like that, right? And you think, okay, there's the face, and then, you'd put like the hair here, and then, hair, and then, eyes and nose, and then the lips. Okay, so that's a creepy looking face. So, okay, that's how I would have done it before. So, but now, oh man, I'm gonna be using all my paper. Okay, I'm gonna flip the page here. I'm hoping you guys can see this. If you can't, I'm gonna be super bummed. Okay, so here's the basic way to start. Instead of just drawing like the bottom half of the face, what you wanna do is you wanna kind of draw, you wanna sort of get just sort of a rough shape of your face. That totally looks like an alien. I'm not super happy with that, and I don't really have an eraser. I'm very unprepared for this, but anyway, whatever. So this is like a basic head shape, right? Oh, I don't know what happened over here. See, I'm not great. It's, okay, now it needed to be wider. Okay, whatever. All right, so anyway. Like a basic shape of a face, right? It's very, okay. So, what you want to do, because we always think of like, when you're looking at a face, you would start drawing the eyes maybe like way up here. Our eyes are actually kind of halfway down our entire head. So the best way to do it is just sort of cut the face in half this way, and then cut the face in half that way. And then you sort of have this grid that you can work with, and then you just sort of half this as well. So our eyes are gonna go here, our nose is gonna go here, and then our mouth is gonna go, again, halfway in between the chin and where the nose goes. And then up here, this is where the center of the eyes, so then you'll have like eyebrows, and then the hair and all that. So, I don't know, I just sort of, like I start, my eyes are never, ever the same size, and they are always, and by the way, I do a lot of erasing after I start. So my eyes are very rarely ever same size. I'm starting over on that. It's okay if you don't like your stuff, just start over. Okay, so making that a little bit, my curves are a little too not curve-like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how people make their stuff like totally symmetrical and like right. I don't know how to do it. But you know, anyway, you basically just sort of make your eye shape. Now I'll probably change the shape of the eye, but I know that that's where I want them. And then like the nose, I kind of just do that so I can kind of just know where that is. So just if you draw like a really light circle, and then your nose, you figure you've got like, you know, you've got, I don't know what the tip of your nose, there's probably a name for that, like your little nub. And then you have the shadow here of like your nostrils, right? So, you know, and then you kind of, some people have little button noses, and then, you know, we have like the sides of our noses here. So you do like, you can do little curvy shadows there. And then, you know, a lot of times we have the little line that comes down from the nose, very light. You don't have to make it super dark. And then the lips, what I often do is I will draw 2 circles and then 1 big circle. I hope you can see that. Let me zoom in. Oh yes, that's much better. Okay, so 2 circles, 1 big circle, and then you just sort of trace the shape of those. And that's the center of the mouth. I like to, you know, it's all totally up to you what kind of shape you want your mouth to have. I'll sometimes square off the bottom lip, and usually, I should tell you, I have to redraw my lips about 7,000 times when I'm working on something, because I'm always like, it's not right. But you know, just play with it. You can also, I don't like to attach the lip there. I try to just sort of make it kind of, because then it makes it a little bit more like interpretive, right? And you can play with the lip. You can, depending on the expression that you're going for, like you can make it so maybe she's not having a great day, looking a little sad. Actually, that should be a little higher. Make your little, looks like she has a mustache, but it won't look that way like when you're done with the piece. But I want her to be a little bit happier. So I'm gonna kind of make that come out like that. And the shade in between the lips. And then you can erase the circle in the middle. And it kind of, I don't know, I feel like her top lip needs to be a little bit there. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing. And usually I do it and I'm like, I fix it about 400 times. So I'm not happy. But you kind of get the idea, right? That kind of looks like a face, sort of. So you have at least you know now, like, you know, the nose is going to be here, the mouth is going to be here. I always give my girls, I don't know why, I think because dimples kind of run in my family. I always do like a little dimple on the chin thing. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself. So nose, the eyes. Okay, so eyes. My eyes never look the same, ever, ever, ever. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna erase my bottom line. Now I learned this is the way that I learned when I took Jane Davenport's class, and I really like her eyes, but they're very, to me, they're very signature to her. But so what she does is she does the arch, and then she does like a line down to kind of break the shape of the eye. Yeah, that might be a little long there. And then instead of, you know, you wouldn't just draw like the eyeball in the middle, because, you know, our eyelids come down. So this line here represents the top eyelid. So instead of drawing just 2 circles, you would draw, let me get rid of some of this pencil so you can see a little bit better, I'm hoping, yeah. So instead of drawing, you're gonna actually sort of cut your circle off at the top. And this just, as she says, as she describes it, as she's teaching it, it makes the eyes look a little bit more dreamy. Now I'm never gonna be able to get that same shape because I just don't know. That's not too shabby. Look at that. Okay. So those don't look the same at all. One is way bigger. That's okay. All right, whatever. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Though I do think this needs to be fixed here. Like I said, if you want to, there's some people who are like, don't fix your stuff, just go with it. I'm like, no, if it looks like poo-poo, I gotta fix that. Okay, so here we've got the eye, and then, you know, you can put just sort of place the pupil with your pencil, just so you can kind of see what you're doing sorry. And then what I usually do is just sort of, that's too long, kind of connect, you know, because it's sort of like that little thing we have in our eye, you know, kind of dips down, though probably in real life it doesn't do it quite as dramatically as it does. Yeah, my eyes are 2 totally different shapes. That one's it. That's okay. You know what? I can fix it later. This is just for basic stuff. I'm gonna keep moving, but you know that you can go back and fix it if you're not happy. Looks like she's winking there, and she's not winking over here. I think this is maybe more arched. I don't know. I can kind of try to make it a little bit bigger so it's like actually touching that. I don't know, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna move on. So, so this is just, you know, the eyelid where your lashes would be. And then, you know, you would obviously have the rest of the lid here. You kind of accent that. So here's your eyelid. And then, you know, and when you go in to paint or color, whatever, you obviously could put makeup and stuff, you know, colors for eyeshadow and things like that. And then for eyebrows, you just sort of go up from where oh, I gotta fix this. This is bugging me. I'm sorry. I don't know if that, no, it didn't help. I don't know. You know, it's whatever. Okay. So I'll shade that in to make it look more like an eyelid. And then you can do whatever with, what are the things called that come out at your lashes? Good Lord. It's been a long week, people. The lashes. You know, some people want to do, if you want to put full lashes in there, or you can just go to the end and kind of sweep it up at the end. Again, these are things you can do once you've done the color, but however you want to do it. I don't usually do big lashes, but I don't know, kind of curious about them lately. No, she's really hairy. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the eyebrows. Your eyebrows, I usually measure so they kind of come up from there. And again, this is a Jane Davenport thing. She kind of teaches you to sort of do a check mark, like a big kind of check mark. And then come up, try to start at the same spot. And again, you can go back, make them as, I don't know, thick or thin or however you want to do it, as you want. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I have no idea what that meant. What are we doing? Oh, she's pretty. Look at her. Her eye's totally screwed up. I can see it. Like, this should be more like that. I think this one's lower than that one. It's fine. It's amazing what you can do with pencil, though. If you just sort of go in and start going over stuff, you can kind of make it look the same. I don't know. She's okay. She's had a long week, people. You know? You can kind of define that, you know. And then her nose. I like her little nose there. I do like this is like a Tamara Laporte thing. She sort of keeps the circle there. And then when she puts her color in, she doesn't paint that. She leaves it like a white highlight, and it just looks like a little button nose. Who doesn't love a button nose? The other thing I will do is you can kind of indicate the shape of the nose just by putting like a little shadow right there. I don't do more than that. Like, I don't do both sides, you know, because if I start committing this to look like an actual person that exists in the human world, I'm gonna be in trouble. So I don't even like that. I think that's too, there, a little bit too. So I like drawing perfect noses because I do not have one. So, so now that we've got our perfectly imperfect face, let's talk about hair. So I'm gonna just sort of erase some of my pencil over here because I wanna make sure I've got the shape right. I don't really do ears, but I will just sort of like indicate like where the ears would be. So one of the things, I'm gonna zoom out a little, there we go. So one of the things, oh, her eyebrows are weird. I'm gonna make them a little darker. It looks like she's got, there, is that better? I don't know. So one of the things like I always try to teach my daughter when I'm showing, oh, that's the wrong way, sorry. When I'm teaching her stuff is that she'll draw her character's hair like straight from the top of the head. And I'm like, but we got hair here. Even if you don't have bangs, your hairline, depending on what size forehead you have, it's, you know, it's gonna start here or here, you know, just depending. So I usually I swoop because I don't really know how to do anything else. I know there's people that are probably really good at drawing hair and like textures. I just swoop. When in doubt, just swoop. And I usually start on the side, like a side part kind of a situation. And our hair, you know, in real life, our hair doesn't stand up that far from our head, but like when you're looking at someone, it's gonna be a little higher than the actual head, right? So I'm just gonna start here and just do like a really simple swoop there, and then a swoop there. A lot of times the way that I draw, I have the hair kind of, let me make sure you're getting this. It kind of comes really close to the face. Do it darker, so right? So this is just like the front of the hair. And then, oh, I keep going the wrong way. Sorry guys, there we go. It's a little better. Okay, so now you can see the whole thing. And then, you know, the top of the hair, like I said, it's gonna come up above where the actual line of the head is. And so then you've got these swoops here just to fill it in. Oh, I'm getting pencil everywhere. All right, this is like a school pencil. Usually I use like a mechanical pencil that has, you know, the really good stuff in it, but I'm just using what I can find right now, which is, don't want anyone to feel like if they wanted to try this, that they have to go out and like, you know, buy special stuff. So anyway, okay, so there's the hair. And then I'm just gonna put her neck. I like long necks on my drawings. I don't know why. Do it any way you want though. She's got her super skinny neck. You can draw it thicker to make it look a little bit more realistic. I try to get it as far away from realistic as I can because then I'm committing and I'm like, I can't do realistic. So then the hair, you know, it's obviously gonna, little swoopies back here as well, just to indicate like, there's her shoulders. And then, you know, one of the things again that I learned in one of my classes was to sort of do kind of like a staggered, almost like Ys. You're drawing Ys, but only one side. And then that way you can kind of get some strand detail in there, but they're not, you know, always coming out the same way. And then, you know, your hair is usually darker back, you know, when it's just hanging. There's always going to be a like shadow back here, so it's going to be a little bit darker like that. And then you can and you could seriously do this if you want to do this whole thing in pencil, if you just wanted to go through and like shade with pencil and just leave, you know, leave the highlights white, like the paper, you know, however you wanted to do it, just for funsies. And there you go. Like, that's kind of pretty basic on how to do a face. I might do like, I feel like maybe around this part it needs to be a little better. And then again, if you're just gonna stick with pencil, you could come in here and do some shading, like, I don't know, you know, you can just look at someone to see where, like where they're standing, where the light is hitting them, where shadows would be. I know half of my stuff is not correct. Like, why does she have a shadow there? Why would she have a shadow there? Kind of thing. I don't know, because I don't know. Because I don't know what I'm doing, is the answer, basically. And then you can kind of, I always like to, oh, my pencil's wearing down. And do like, where's my lid? There it is. Okay, do some like rosy cheeks. And the nice thing about pencils, you can kind of smudge it. So she's got some rosy cheeks going there. Okay, so that's my face. She needs some work, but she's okay. You know what? She's okay. We can put some highlights in the eyes. And so interestingly, our top lip is usually a little darker than our bottom lip. So I like to do the lines, like the crosshatch lines in there, but then you can come back and like leave. Well, it doesn't work well with this pencil, but you know what I mean. Like, you leave a little highlight there. And that's my girl, you guys. Well, let me see if I can get a better, so that maybe I should have been zoomed in this whole time. Her eyes are messed up. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because the important thing is that we tried. Okay, so this has been fun. I hope that, like, you know, I hope that you guys, I hope somebody tries this. Because if you think you can't draw, if you just know kind of how, like if you sort of know, like, well, okay, if I can at least do that with the circle and the fade, you know, and the cutting it up, I might be able to try it. And then you can start painting, which is super fun. Because then you can, you know, let me show this one. So her face is, yeah, I mean, it's a combination of acrylic paint and I feel like I may have used some markers, maybe. I don't remember. But I try to keep it super, super simple. I also paint rocks, so I don't have any in front of me right now. I'll have to, if I do another one where I'm actually showing like coloring in or painting in, I can show you, but I started painting rocks. Here's one, like the size of the rock. My daughter did this. It just says good vibes, but I actually started painting faces on the rocks, and it's super fun. And the thing I love about it the most, the bigger you get, the more detail you have to think about and the more precise. When you're drawing something really small, it's very forgiving. So you don't have to, whoa, she got really close to us. So you don't have to worry about it too much. So from that, not that I still love this, it's actually hanging in my little I don't even know what I call this, my little space downstairs where I do all of my crafty, artsy stuff. My desk is usually down here where I do my writing. Right now I moved it upstairs since we're all at home. I can get a little more privacy in our bedroom for writing, but I still love this one, but I feel like from this to knowing how to do this, it's such a huge leap and it really opened so many doors. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is so silly. But I really do hope that it inspires somebody to do something. So be creative, be well, and I'll hopefully see you guys soon. Bye.